All right, so to create the InDesign document, you're going to go to the bottom left corner where it says Windows, and you're going to look for Adobe InDesign, which is the third program that we're using, the pink icon. So you're going to open InDesign, and you're going to create a new file. We're going to follow the instructions right here. You can also use eClass Week 8 as reference because it has the written instructions here. Right, so the first thing on new file is you're going to change the units you're going to change them to points. And then, where is my PowerPoint? These are the dimensions. So the width is 1050, the height is 600. So go ahead and enter that. You want to uncheck facing pages. Facing pages just means like when you read a book, those are facing pages versus like a packet that's not facing because it's just one page at a time. So you want to uncheck facing pages and you want to put 2 for pages because we want 2 pages. This is going to be the front and the back of the business card. All right. So go ahead and create that file once you have entered in that information. And then you should see something like this. Right, so you have your first page. This is going to be the front of your business card. This is going to be your back of your business card. Now we want to create layers. We want a layer that's background, layer 2 that's graphics, and layer 3 that's text. So go ahead and do that. If you can't find your layers panel, you're going to go to Window, click Layers. All right, create new layer 2 times. Layer 1, background. Layer 2, what did I say for layer 2? Graphics, and layer 3, text. So with the background, starting with layer 1, ideally you would have had a color palette that you had with your brand guide, with your logo. So you can bring that in, copy it from Illustrator, and paste it in InDesign. However, if you're late on this project, just pick any color. So you can do this. Use rectangle tool to make a rectangle, and then you can fill that with color. And you're going to make your backgrounds in the background layer using the rectangle tool. And you actually want your rectangle to be bigger than your artboard. And this is what we call bleed. So this was part of the midterm quiz, is that you give yourself some wiggle room just in case, because if you export a file, sometimes you can't see the smallest little sliver, because if it's like on the border and you export it, you might see a little strip of white. That's what I mean by sliver. So you want to give yourself some bleed and get your background in. Then you can lock your background layer when you're done with that. Graphics, you're going to add your logo in. So for this, you actually want, let me see, to import file. You want to import file, and ideally you should have your logo from Illustrator. So this is my logo. So I'm going to find my logo and then click open. And instead of it just kind of dropping it on your file, what it does is it loads it onto your cursor or your mouse. And what you're going to do is click and drag to place it where you want it to go. So as you can see, it did that. I'm going to use this align feature, align to page. This is called a page, what we formerly know as an artboard. So we want to align to page. We want to center it. and there's our logo on the front. And then we can lock that. Then for text, you're going to make a small text box. So on InDesign, you can only click and drag. You can't just click. And the type of text that we're putting in here is the following. So you're going to add the title. So a graphic designer, we need to know who you are, what you do. My name is Courtney Escorza. I'm a graphic designer, and you can contact me at the following information. So everyone's going to put this as their fake phone number. For their email address, you're going to do design@yourfirstandlastname.com. And then the website is firstandlastname.com. So let's get that information on there. First one being phone number. And then we're going to make that bigger. So if you highlight it, and I have the extra 8 in there. So that is the phone number. I'm going to copy and paste that. So Control C, Control V. Edit this to say the email, which is design@firstandlastname.com. And then I'm going to paste again. And this one, we're going to add our website, which is firstnamelastname.com. Now, a couple things about these. They kind of don't look that great. They might seem a little big, but we want to adjust the size to be around 30 to 35 because that's looking a little too big. So 35 and 35 for me. All right, so here's a little checklist for you when it comes to text. First thing is size. Second thing is style. Size, style. And then there was another one. I'll have to think about it. All right, so size we got down. Let's look at style. So style is where you choose your font, and you don't want this one to be super decorative. You just want it to be fairly simple. So just get a simple one. Size, style. And you want the same one for all of these pieces of information because they're the same, on the same level of information. All right, very last thing is to edit the text boxes because as you can see, it's cutting off the text. So you want to elongate it to the actual text and make sure that the text box fits really snug around the information. Because if you align, let's say you align this text, it's going to register with the text box that you have. So you need it to be really accurate and fit really close to the text. All right, now we're missing the graphic designer title. And I would also, if you don't have your name anywhere, also add that in. So put your name and graphic designer. I'm actually going to put that in 2 separate text boxes. Let's go ahead and make the size bigger so we can actually read it. Start with 35. And then make another text box for your name. Let's make this one 45. Test that out. And don't forget to change the style. I just remembered what the third S was, and it's space. So before you edit the size of the text box, you want to edit the space. So we edited the size, we edited the style. Now you want to add some space between. You can do that, and then you can finish by making that text box fit close to the word. And now is when you can play with layout. You can look up other business cards to get some inspiration. What was I going to say? And lastly, you want to add some grids. So right here, to add a grid, you go to layout and create guides, and you're going to make rows of 4 and columns 4. Then you want to fit guides to margins. So let's do that. We go to layout, create guides. We want 4 rows and 4 columns. We want it to fit to margins, and then click OK. And these are the grids or the guides. And you can use this to help you space out your words and layout. And I want to show you an example, my finished actual example, so that you can use it as reference. All right. So as you can see, I'm using the space really well using the guides. Same thing here, nothing looks too congested. It's not crowded, or like I didn't scoot it all the way to the edge, or even the margin line. I'm leaving breathing room. Things are spaced out and balanced, and this is why we use grids to help us maintain that space, because keeping space is just as important as the actual graphics that you